Okay, let's see. Our last question this week is from Linda. Hi, Rob. What are your thoughts about the Keyto Breathalyzer? It seems like an easy and quick way to determine if we are in ketosis, but does it work? Are the readings accurate? I'd love to hear your expert opinion because it would be great to be able to check our levels at any time without having to prick our fingers and draw blood.
So I checked out on this, and I mean, the question of does it work? Yeah, I mean, it definitely appears to track your ketone levels. The one thing that I have a little bit of concern with in checking out this website, like it said backed by science, backed by science, backed by science, no literature provided. So I can't actually dig into like, what are they, like,
What are
as
they
far as I
claiming?
can tell, I can't even tell if this thing is looking at beta hydroxybutyrate or acetone, which are the two things that we could check via, breath. Acetoacetate, you can really only check via blood or urine. And so another, I guess, concern, and God bless these people doing this stuff. Like it's great that they're getting in and providing a resource like this. But I think it was something like burn fat faster and know that you're doing the right thing or something like that. And we hopefully are getting to a point of sophistication in this ketogenic diet story that just because you're producing mountains of ketones doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing the right thing. Like if your goal is fat loss, doing a bunch of fat bombs or just hammering yourself with MCTs so that you win the dick measuring contest of highest ketones within your like competition group or something doesn't really matter. And it's frustrating, honestly, to see something like this that is really pandering to that lowest common denominator. It would be really nice to see some messaging on this site about some of this nuance that's basically like, hey, let's find what your ketone
Nuance
levels
doesn't
are.
sell,
Nuance
babe.
doesn't sell. And
We've been learning this the hard way
yeah,
for
we have learned this
ages.
the hard fucking way.
Nobody wants nuance
Hey,
and context.
Nikki, there's this stuff called mycotoxins, and they're in coffee, and they'll kill you. But I have the only coffee in the world that doesn't have them. That's a great example of that. Create a problem, then have the only fucking solution for the problem. These folks are not doing that, but it's God. I want to do a better job of answering this for Linda, but it's I don't know if their readings are accurate because they don't actually provide like any validation studies. And one of the big problems with the breath ketone meters is that the equilibrium dynamics that occur between fat breakdown, acetoacetate, acetone, and beta hydroxybutyrate are not a completely linear process. Like if you know one number, you do not inherently know what the other numbers are. And this is some of the problems with these things in a quantification scenario. There's a great sci-fi novel called The Three-Body Problem in physics. You can figure out what's going on with two bodies moving around each other, and as soon as you add a third body to a gravitational system, it's largely impossible to determine what's going on. And this is not completely removed from that scenario in that because these equilibria, the conversion from acetoacetate to acetone or beta hydroxybutyrate are not 100% linked or not 100% stable one to the other, then it's really hard to tell what's going on with this stuff. At a macro level, let's say you had somebody with a neurological condition. The best way that I could see using something like this product or ketonics is that you are able to get a magnitude reading out of whatever it is that's coming out. And then based off of that, you can get a sense of, do I feel good? Is my performance good? Is my cognition on point? And then that could help you steward some stuff. But as cool as these things are, and I really wish I had invented one and taken across the goal line on all that stuff, they're limited in what they can tell us. But at the same time, if we look, feel, and perform well, then we should only be using these things as orienting guideposts early on, and then somewhere down the road, it's like in my opinion,
have to prick
you
your
really
finger
don't
all the
need
time.
these
You don't.
things.
Yeah.
And these people are going to hate me now, but that's okay. Everybody hates me at this point. Anything we needed to let folks know about? We didn't try to go
I
through
wanted
that
to
fast,
say,
but
so
we did.
so the podcast clearly is sponsored by Drink Element Recharge, and we've mentioned Wade's Army in the past. It's a fundraiser to support neuroblastoma, children's cancer. And
explain that a little bit. Like about half the money goes into legit research, and half the money supports families. So like if a family is affected with glioblastoma, one of their children... neuroblastoma, a big chunk of this money goes to helping to travel these folks to a treatment center, put them up, provide transport. So they're trying to look at better treatments and preventions, but they're also really legit helping families affected by this really horrible disease.
And right now is the primary fundraising drive for Wade's Army. It goes all the way through November 12th, which is Wade's Day. And Element and Wade's Army have sponsored. And so if you go to robbwolf.com/Wade, if you buy a box of Element Recharge, so if you haven't tried the electrolyte drink and you want to give it a shot, you buy a box, and $5 from every purchase is going to go to Wade's Army. You can also donate directly to Wade's Army if you aren't interested in the electrolytes and you just want to donate to a great cause. Some dear friends of ours, the Wellborns, and some very dear friends of theirs lost their son, Wade, to neuroblastoma. So that is the genesis story for this fundraiser.
So support Wade's Army. What's the URL again for that?
So I believe it's wadesarmy.org if you just want to go and make a donation directly. If you want to buy the box of Element Recharge and donate indirectly through there, you can go to robbwolf.com/Wade.
Awesome. Nicely done, wife.
And you can submit your questions on robbwolf.com. Follow us at DAS, D-A-S, Robb Wolf on Instagram. And
at least for a while.
At least for a little while. And we have some stuff that we're working on that we're getting ready to share, probably maybe next week. So we'll see. We're not quite ready to
we've been busting our hump on it
yet.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be it's related to the podcast, related to some other things, and I think it could be pretty fun for all involved. So
oh man, you're just dangling the goods out there. Jeez. Okay, well, Thank you guys for tuning in. Look forward to getting some questions again in the future. Thanks for sending them in.
See you guys.
Bye.